Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
You probably remember Martin Luther as the guy who took on the Roman Catholic Church and started the Protestant Reformation way back in the 1500s. But did you know he also wrote some deeply theological hymns? The best known of these, also known as the Battle Hymn of the Reformation, is "A Mighty Fortress is Our God." It's been translated from the original German into many different languages and has been sung for generations. And there's a good reason for that. This hymn portrays God as an almighty, all-powerful force that cannot be overcome. Every generation needs to fully understand and believe that theological truth. The first verse reminds me of Nehemiah. He led the people to build the wall of Jerusalem because without it, the city was helpless and vulnerable to attack. Throughout the process of building, their enemies all around threatened to attack. At one point, the people were building with one hand and holding their sword with the other. When the wall was completed, they celebrated. However, throughout the building, when the city was defenseless without the wall, God showed Himself strong. He was their fortress. When Nehemiah feared, he turned to the Lord in prayer. In his book, he recorded several times when he saw the good hand of the Lord upon them. Once, when enemies threatened, he told the people, "Don't be afraid of them. Remember the Lord, great and awesome." In the end, they finished building the wall in 52 days, and even their enemies realized that the work had been done by God. The Lord had been their fortress, and He is for us today. As Martin Luther wrote, "A mighty fortress is our God, a bulwark, that is a defensive wall, never failing." God truly is our first and best defense. We run to Him for refuge, just like David writes over and over in the Psalms. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in time of trouble. In the shadow of your wings I will make my refuge until these calamities have passed by. He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him I will trust. In this hymn, Martin Luther warns us not to underestimate the enemy. He says, "For still our ancient foe doth seek to work us woe. His craft and power are great, and armed with cruel hate. On earth is not his equal." Now we can't fight Satan alone. He's cunning, devious, subtle, and powerful. Only God alone can handle him, which is why we need to trust our mighty fortress. The second verse explains this clearly. It says, "Did we in our own strength confide, our striving would be losing." In other words, if we tried to fight the enemy alone, we'd lose every time. Aren't you glad we don't have to? We have our mighty fortress. The hymn goes on to say only Jesus can win against the enemy. But more on that tomorrow. For now, let's praise God for being our mighty fortress, defense, and refuge. Exactly what we need in every battle.
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes at our website, which you can find in the description below. Thanks for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.